your butt. For more information on Colon Cancer Awareness Month, visit loveyourbutt.org today.
Here's another confidence-building moment from the Ninja Troll Show.
Your face is family-friendly.
Yeah, the Manson family. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Damn you, Dixon.
Oh. Now, who's not being family-friendly?
Yeah.
Breaking down self-esteem one brick at a time. The Ninja Troll Digicast.
I think with that, we should start a spin-off of the Ninja Troll and just title it Damn You, Dixon.
It's my greatest hits.
All right. So, it is time to give the awards for the best video games of the past year.
Hey Ninja Troll, this is Mike Worth, reporting from the seedy basement arcade of the Cathedral of Wisdom, with this year's Ninja Troll Video Game Super Picks. On December 5th, gamers, game designers, and jurors descended upon sunny Las Vegas to celebrate the excellence in gaming of the Video Game Awards. Our Super Pick categories of video games for this year include Best Overall Game of the Year, Best Fighter, Best Sports/Racing, Best First-Person Shooter, Best MMO, and Best Mobile/Handheld. So, without further ado, let's go in reverse order. Firstly, with Best Mobile/Handheld is Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, from the Blizzard team. This turn-based digital card game features the characters from the very popular Warcraft series. Beautiful graphics, great sound, and yes, folks, there is a world championship just for this mobile game. Need I say more? Somehow, Candy Crush was defeated this year. Sorry, Laura. Now, maybe you could please stop sending us requests to play on Facebook. Thank you so much. Next is Best MMO. And the winner for that category is Destiny, from Bungie/Activision, the makers of the famous Halo and Atari's Pitfall. This futuristic first-person shooter combines vast epic levels on each of the planets in our solar system. Great gameplay and a fan-appreciated online battlefield makes this an easy winner for this year's Best MMO. Next, we've got Best Shooter. And that goes to the fourth installment of the Far Cry series from Ubisoft, also known as the makers of Assassin's Creed. An intense action-adventure set in a vast open world in the Himalayan mountains of Nepal. A wide variety of vehicles on both land and air, weapons, and tools are at your disposal to do battle amidst a civil war of feuding factions. A very, very cool game. Next is the Best Sports/Racing game, and this year was a real shocker. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U took home first prize in this category and beat out some superstars like NBA 2K15, FIFA 15, and the new Forza Horizon 2 game. All top quality titles, but Nintendo brought the magic, doing what they do best, them. Packed full of familiar and some new Nintendo characters, Mario Kart 8 will not disappoint. After that, we've got Best Fighter. And another stunner from Nintendo, this time with Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. This time, Nintendo reworked their fighting engine to rival that of the big players in the same fighter genre. Epic levels, cool upgrades, and all maintaining that cool classic Nintendo cartoon style. Mind you, this beat out Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Killer Instinct Season 2, which have hyper-realistic graphics and top fighting physics. Very tough competition in that category, and I can now see Mario saying, "Cut me, Yoshi, cut me, I'm going back in there." And lastly, the pièce de résistance, the best overall game of the year. And the grand winner is Dragon Age Inquisition from BioWare Electronic Arts. This amazing third-person open-world role-playing game majorly excels in hyper-realistic graphics, sound and voice acting, fighting engines, cool skill tree upgrades, and most of all, its custom character creation. You can choose from a wide variety of races, fighting and magic styles to help you carve up some major goblin meat. Set in a Middle-earth / Game of Thrones style world, the levels are vast, visually gorgeous, and deadly. This game will certainly not disappoint, yet it beat out my favorite game of the year, The Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings title. A tough pick for best overall, but we must all now bow down before the Dragon Age Inquisitor. This has been Mike Worth reporting from the seedy basement arcade of the Cathedral of Wisdom with the Ninja Troll video game Super Picks of the Year. I got next on Miss Pac-Man, y'all. Come on, my quarter's on the ledge, man.
And there it is.
That was cool. I love that you used the Spy Hunter music. Although it doesn't sound the same without the sound of me running off the road. As we ran off the road.
Well, next time we'll just let you supply that.
Yeah. Because I never played the game without hearing that noise.
I think what we will do is I've thought about it, and seeing how Mike is a teacher, we are going to refer to him. We have our own Mr. Wizard in a way. He is going to be Professor Video Game.
Oh, we got to do better than that.
You're like the guy on Flash that likes to name all the bad guys.
I am. You got
Although he does a better job.
Everybody here knows you got to have a gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be big?
You need a gimmick. High explosives.
That's right. All right, Tim. So, thank you, Mike Worth.
Say his name right.
Well, I was close. And again, I owe you an apology, Mr. Mike. Dang it, I'm always messing up. He's going to give me an F. I can just feel it. All right. So, moving right along, let's go back to the shop. Back to the back of the shop. And take a spin on the rack.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time to head to the comic rack. Hey, nice rack. The latest news from the world of comic books, comic book movies, and TV, right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Okay. Well, next year he'll be in a movie, but this year he'll die. Marvel Comics has announced that they will be killing Deadpool in April's Deadpool number 250, which is actually issue number 45, but they're calling it 250 to sound cooler. And if I'm not kidding. And it will be the final issue of his ongoing series. Which I was really confused when I first started looking at it. I was like, oh, they're killing him in Deadpool 240. And then just a little later, I saw, here's a preview of Deadpool number 43. I was like, wait a minute. Has he got two series going? I was like, okay, are they just killing one of them or what's going on? And I actually looked into it, and issue 45 is being renamed number 250. So it sounds cooler. But that's stuff they do in Deadpool. So this issue, the last issue, 250, 45, whichever one you want to call it, is going to be like an all-star writing and art jam. It's going to have Jerry Duggan, Brian Posehn, Ben Acker, Ben Blacker, Nick Giovanetti, Paul Shearer, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that guy's name, Mike Drucker, and artists like Scott Koblish and Mike Hawthorne, which is basically like I said, like an all-star Deadpool team there. Guys that have been working on the book before and have had really successful runs on it. It's going to be the second notoriously hard-to-kill character that Marvel will be bumping off following Wolverine last year. And the solicitation for this was just hilarious because it was like the whole thing was talking about what's going to go on in the issue, and then down at the bottom, oh yeah, at the end, Deadpool dies. That was the solicitation.
That was great.
It was like telling you how cool the issue was going to be, and then like the last statement was like, oh yeah, at the end he dies. So, but everything Deadpool is always kind of tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to you have to know that going in. So just like them renaming it issue 250. It's just stuff that happens in Deadpool. Next, IDW Publishing has announced that it has acquired the long-standing independent alternative comics publisher Top Shelf. Top Shelf will continue to maintain its own identity as an imprint of IDW, but will enjoy the much larger market might of IDW going forward. So that's going to be kind of cool. Some of the quirkier stuff that Top Shelf does will now have a bigger distribution.
Yes.
So that'll be good. Image Comics last week held this year's Image Expo, and there's a lot of news coming out of it about a couple of new projects, including one called Savior from Todd McFarlane, which he has been teasing on social media for a while now. Also, Scotty Young's new title, I Hate Fairyland. It's described as what happens to an Alice in Wonderland type character who has been stuck in a storybook reality for 30 years, but still looks like an 8-year-old. So that right there is kind of interesting. When he was announcing his new Savior series, McFarlane announced that he would be stepping away from Spawn. Wrap your head around that. Spawn is up to 250 issues, like legitimately 250 issues, not like Deadpool. It's been around since 92 that they started Image Comics? Do you remember, Chuck?
Yes, it's something like that.
It's 91, 92, something like that. He's been working on Spawn since then. Wow. He created it then and has worked either as when he first started, he was writing and illustrating. Then I think that for a while he's always written it. I think he stepped away from the illustration and just went to a writer, and he's worked as a writer, and I think he does the covers, the cover illustrations, since 1992 for over 20 years.
Wow.
So he's now stepping away from that to work on Savior and introduce the new writer, Paul Jenkins. McFarlane also talked about the ongoing plans for an R-rated Spawn movie relaunch, saying, quote, my pitch is, guys, here's the story. Non-negotiable. I write, produce, and direct. Yeah. That's what you can do stuff like that when you're Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go in there and go, okay, this is how it is, or it don't happen. So, Dark Horse will be putting out a new series that chronicles the history and mythology of Azeroth, the setting of Blizzard Entertainment's World of Warcraft. So that should be different at the very least.
Yes.
So this is actually, it's not really comic book related. It kind of loosely goes into the movie news, but I just threw it in here because I thought it was funny. Spider-Man writer Brian Michael Bendis has given us just a little glimpse into how Sony runs their Spider-Man universe. In a recent interview with Yahoo Movies, Bendis talked about how he had been used as a consultant before on the movies and was called in before The Amazing Spider-Man went into production. Quote, they sat me down in this office with a room full of producers, writers, and directors and looked at me and said, organic web shooters or mechanical web shooters? I said mechanical, and half the table said, damn it. They were mad because I was clearly the deciding vote, even though I didn't know it. So when I saw the mechanical web shooters, I feel a little happiness. I feel like I did something good in the world. That's a funny story, but at the same time, it makes you look at it and go, okay, all these people at Sony Pictures, you can't pick up 40 years worth of comic books. Just one issue would tell you the answer to that. That's all you got to do. Pick up a comic book, man.
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, no, we're going to pay somebody, a Spider-Man writer, to come in, and we're going to ask him. Which was actually a big deal when the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man came out, that they'd used the biological or the organic web shooters.
Yes.
Which was just weird, out of left field, was never done in the comic books.
Yes.
But hey.
Sometimes you just got to do it because, damn it, it looks cool.
But it didn't. It looked weird. He had like this little web pimple on his on his wrist.
Yes.
And nobody noticed that?
I did.
He's walking around at school with a little web pimple.
Yeah.